Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my eyebrow routine on how I do my brows. I don't have the best brows in the world. The hairs are really light and they're really sparse in most places. So I do have to fill them in when I do my makeup, otherwise I look like weird. So I just got done filming my foundation routine. I put my contour, bronzer, blush, highlight on, and I was getting ready to do my brows. I was like, hey, why don't I just do a brow routine? You guys could see specifically how I do my brows. I do them the same. I try to do it the same way the majority of the time, but then when I get a new product, I want to try it, and so it ends up, being different than what I usually do. But I always find myself going back to the way I do it, which I'm going to show you now. So basically I use my Anastasia Dip Brow in the color Soft Brown. It is quite a bit darker than my brows, but it does match my hair, and I feel like it goes better and it makes my brows show up better. Because realistically my shape isn't bad, it's just there's barely any hair there and they're light. So basically what I do is I take my Anastasia number 12, it's rubbed off because I use it so much, but anyway, so I take the number 12 and basically I take the spoolie end and I will just bring my brows up like this, up and out, to get the true shape. Because sometimes when you're you're not really messing with your brows and they're kind of like drooping, and and then when I noticed when I would follow the line, my brow didn't look as lifted as I did in the past. So I would lift the brows first so that you could see the potential of your lifted brow. You could probably see I have a line here because I started doing it, and and then I was like, okay, well, let me film this. It just popped in my head. So basically I take a little bit of the dip brow. I do not take a lot, just a little bit, just enough to get the tip of the brush nice and not coated, but just enough, you know what I mean? Because I don't like to do too much at once, because when I did, it just came out really fucked up. So basically I just start here and I just work my way up to the arch, and I follow where my hair is because I do have hair. It's just light hair, and then I just go like this, follow my brow, and then when I want to do the tail, I always turn my head, because if you go from this angle and there's light, brightness here and darkness here, it's hard to see exactly where the brow is going. So you want to turn your head and look at the mirror and then do over here, because I have screwed up so many times where the wing actually went too far down or it went too far up because I was trying to do it straight on, and the light was making it hard for me. So yeah, so I bring it and I just do the bottom part, follow the line of my hair the best I can. And I try to make it nice and light here, because your brows, you don't want them to look like they're, that's a little bit too long. But see, the thing is, if it's too dark over here, it starts to look fake. Same with here. If it's too dark here, it looks fake. It looks like obviously they've been drawn on. Which obviously most people, when they, fill in their eyebrows, they want an eyebrow that will look really nice and clean, but will also look realistic. So that's what I'm going for here. So then once I get that bottom line guided, I'll just make sure my brow is still lifted, and I will go here, because I don't start here, because you want to fade that out. The darkest area you want your brows to be is basically right in this area. You want that to be the darkest areas, and then fade it out here, and then fade it out here. So I start here, and obviously you can see it is already dark, pretty dark right in this area. So it starts to get pretty light right here. So I'm going to follow the natural, and I didn't even add more product. Oh wait, did I? I don't know. I'm going to just add a little bit more. So then I'm going to take, it's so hard to do this far away. I'm so used to being really close. But now I can see because I have contacts, so I don't have to be really close. But I need, yeah, okay. I need to be steady here. So I'm going to start at the light area here of my brow. And then I'm going to look close because I see there's the brow comes, there's no hair right here, so I can't do that exaggerated arch, but I can add just a little bit to it just to kind of make it look a little even. I'm going to need a compact because I need to look close for this one. Oh shit, that's because it's a big mirror. So not too big, but big enough for the job. Okay, so here we go. And it's also hard to see because when you're doing right here, the brush gets in, it covers that area, and so it's hard to see. But it's also like you could do it like this, like hold your arm, not hold your arm, but rest your arm on your arm and kind of go like this, and you can see better. But I feel like that position is like really awkward for me, and so I do it that way, and then it actually screws me up too sometimes. So basically, once I got that defined, you can see the definition. You can see the shape of the eye. This isn't too dark. This is kind of a little bit dark, but we can fix that. This isn't too dark. That's not too dark. And then I got the shape figured out, mapped out. Basically, how you want your brows to look. Okay, this is how I've seen so many people, do it. Basically, you measure. You take a brush or whatever, or pencil, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. And you put it up against your nose like this, and then you look and you see that is where your brow is supposed to start, right there. That's exactly where mine starts. And then when you take it and you measure it up to your pupil, see how I'm measuring it up to my pupil? That is where your arch goes. So my arch is in the right spot. And then when you take the brush, you take the obviously. Oh my god. And then you press it up against your nose, and then you go to the corner of your eye there, and that's how far it's supposed to go. I don't like to go that far because I think it kind of looks a little weird on me, but so I just go just a little bit, just kind of like lined up with that. That's just the way I like to do it. Maybe I'll make it a tad bit longer. I don't know, I just feel like it starts looking fake when you go too far. So that's why it's not all the way where it's supposedly supposed to be. So that's basically what I do. And then I just, with the really light areas, I will take the pencil and I'll fill it in, whatever's left on the product. Sometimes I will go in, and I like to make it nice and straight under here, nice and straight. So it's not like too harsh of an arch. But because a harsh arch does not look good on me, because that's not what I'm supposed to have in the first place. So I try to make this line under here as straight as possible, and just the slightest curve, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm just gonna, with what's left over, I will fill it in the areas that look kind of light. And then I will go in again because, like I said, I like this area to be nice and dark. And then sometimes I'll go over like this to define that a little bit more. Okay. And then basically what I do is I take just whatever's left over, because you do not want to make, sorry, I'm giving you guys the finger. I do not want to make this dark because it will make your eyebrows look like they have been drawn on. And yeah, they are, but you want them to look as realistic as possible, unless you're going for that look. And I just go here and I kind of flick it up. Flick it up. Just to give it more definition in the front, but not adding too much product, okay? And that is all I will do with my dip brow and my brush here. So then I'll put that down because I'm going to need it for my other brow. But I'm just going to show you guys this brow just, you know, to make the video not so long. And then I take my Benefit Gimme Brow. I love this stuff. Oh my god, this like completes my brows on so many levels. And this is why I don't, I used to just do my dip brow. And like I said, I like to have this nice and dark in this area. And when I would do the dip brow really dark there, they started to look really like pasty kind of looking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it just, the color would kind of look, I don't know, like too harsh. So, when I finally decided to try out the Benefit Gimme Brow and I started using it with my dip brow, and I was like, this is perfect. This completes my brows. This makes it the way I want it. So when I take it out, I smell it because I love the smell of it. But I take it out and I always go direct, because you're going to have the most product when you first take it out, obviously. So you're going to want to go to the area that you want to be the darkest, which is right here. Okay? For me at least. If you like this look, then try it out. It might be good for your brows too. So I focus in that area because I wanted that to be dark. And also areas that I feel like I missed up here. But basically this colors my brows. It makes them darker, and that's what I want. And then for the front, I will just basically take, and I will, because I have sparse hairs here, but I want to emphasize them and I want to get them colored, but I do not want to add too much product to the skin. So if you go up and you start pressing, I've done this, trust me, it starts applying too much product. So the most product you want to be applied to the actual hairs without touching the skin. And then after that, I will do this again to get that product off of there where I want it. Okay, and then I will go back and I will lightly flick them up and then over like this, and it starts looking pretty good, I think. So it's light here, dark here, so it looks like it's a natural but defined brow. And then after that, I will take my concealer brush, and I will take, I've been really using this rather than my MAC paint pot and painterly, because I feel like this really brightens up the under eye, and it makes it so much easier for later when I'm doing my eyeshadow and I get to see, okay, do not go past here. So it's kind of like a guideline for me for later when I do my eyeshadow. Sometimes I will go up a little too high and I'll screw things up. So I'll take my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Milk, and I'll just basically, I'll put it right there. And I don't put a lot because I don't want it to be too white, you know, because then it will just look weird. So then I basically get my brush, a little bit of the product that I applied, and I'll just start rubbing it in, blending it in, or whatever you want to call it. I'm kind of bringing it under here a little bit to brighten that up, or that under area. And then I'll blend it out. So it lightly highlights under there and kind of helps things a little bit. I'm going to take some of that away. I used to use concealer, but I felt like when I did it this way, it worked for me, good enough for me, and I like it. So it's not too extravagant. I'm not applying too much product to my brow and my skin in general. So, but then after that, I will take my MAC paint pot in Painterly, and I will prime my eyes and get ready for the eyeshadow application. So basically that is all I do. Sometimes, some days, because if I sleep on my brows a certain way, they will stick straight out. which you can see this probably not, but there's this little guy right here that just wants to stick out, and I don't want to get rid of it because it's in my line. You know what I'm saying? It's in my tail, and I don't want to ruin my tail by removing the little hair that I have. So when that happens, I will take my Brow Gal, the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks. I actually ended up really liking this because it's really, for me, it kept the brows in place a lot better, or a lot more stronger, so to speak. So sometimes when I have one that wants to stick straight out, even when I use this, I will just lightly press it down, because it does work like that. If you wet it a little bit and then you wait a second and you press it, it sticks to your, it doesn't, oh yeah, let's be real, it sticks to your skin. But I don't want my hair sticking out like this way, or up or down, because they just want to do that, and I don't want to remove them because I need them. So yeah, that's what I will do. I don't like, press them down, flat to the skin, but I also don't want the hair sticking out. I just said that. Oh, well, whatever. So, that is how I do my eyebrows. Every now and then, when I get a new product, like when I got this sample Goof Proof brow pencil, when I got my Benefit Cheek Parade palette, I tried this out and I was like, I'm not really, super jazzed with it. But then again, I'm so in love with the way I do my brows now that something's got to be super amazing to really, really make me impressed. And then I got the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which I had a while back, but I returned it because I wasn't that impressed. I mean, like, I wasn't, it did, you know what, it's not that it's not a good product. I'm not saying that at all. It's because it's harder for me to work with for some reason. I feel like I don't get more precise. I don't get precise enough with this for some reason. It's just, maybe it's just me, but I just don't. But I did, during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I did end up picking this up, and it was on sale for like $10.50. I had $9 points through Ulta. I ended up redeeming those points, and ended up getting this for like $1.59. So I couldn't beat that. I do like it, but I just feel like I would use this more on days where I want to look more like just slightly filled in, because I can't get those sharp lines with this like I can get with this brush in the dip brow. So that's why I just always gravitate back to those two products for my brows, because of that fact. And of course, I haven't tried. I tried Precisely My Brow from Benefit. It was reminding me a lot of the Brow Wiz, so it's whatever. And then of course the Goof Proof brow pencil. I've tried that. But those are the Anastasia Dip Brow and the Gimme Brow are just, and that number 12 brush are my holy grail for my brows. It just it can get the job done the way I want it with those two products for me. So that's, yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. It was nice seeing everyone, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.